Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you to next Industry 5.0 keynote, and this time we will speak about the impact of Industry 5.0, about the global impact. My name is Mike Rada. I am human and I am the founder of Industry 5.0, so I can tell you what it is. Because many consider and speak about the fifth industrial revolution, but in fact, it is the first. It is the first industrial evolution ever led by man, by human. It is based on the principles of systematic waste prevention called industrial upcycling, and it recognizes four types of waste: physical, social, urban, and process waste. Machines, technology, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, IoT are tools, not rules. Human and humanity, this is what it means. Not a cheap workforce or consumer or IP product. Rules and conditions are all the time the same. Transparency, profit sharing, and efficiency. And the language of efficiency is the one which is spoken within Industry 5.0 environment, because the permanent change is being delivered by power of touch, not promises. Deliver results first, ask for payments later. Global perspective with Industry 5.0 looks following. Systematic waste prevention would become a standard part of national as well as international legislation. Waste legislation will be reviewed and updated to encourage waste prevention and the reduction, not the increase. Local food, water, people and resources will be preferred and supported, and dependence of loans and financial support from external sources would be decreasing, in contrary to current situation. The allocation of internal financial resources would become transparent and efficient, and national debt will turn continuously in national surplus, which will be used and utilized for the development of the country and nation. Sharing the benefits among population will create strong and independent nations. We can look at the example of automotive industry. I have found a graphic which shows how new player called Tesla Motors is competing to all existing, with profitability being higher than all existing together. But if you compare it to Industry 5.0 value, you will be very surprised, because not both together are reaching to the toes of Industry 5.0, because the value of systematic global waste prevention has been estimated to $475 trillion a year, and it is growing. What is the existing reality? I was born on a planet which was called Blue Marble on 24th December 1971, but in 2019 the planet was not blue anymore, but covered with smoke and environmental damage, and in 2020 show up the blue sky again. We are living on a planet around which we have been able to establish a global landfill on an orbit with 170 million pieces of space debris. And what we do to the planet? We dig inside hunting for more, because more is the only criteria of success. More money, more people, more businesses, more cars, more homes, more. Ask Fortune 500 companies, ask Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, ask Bill Gates. They will tell you that more is better. We are living on a planet together with 7.9 billion people, but 200 years ago it was just 1 billion, and 100 years ago it was just 1.5 billion, which means that in the last 100 years, 5 times more people living on the same planet, despite the fact that there has been 2 world wars, 2 war pandemics, and more than 650 local war conflicts. And in 2050, some scientists indicate that there can be 11 billion people living on the same planet. And just now remember the last image. We are living on a planet in 206 countries, according to UN 197. We are speaking 7,000 languages. We are riding 1 billion cars, and we let 9 million people die hungry every single year, despite the fact that we throw away every single day more than 23.6 million tons of food and crop. We let 800,000 people die every single year thirsty, despite the fact that California crude oil industry is consuming 347 million liters of drinking water every single day. We plant our food to throw it away because the leaves are not green enough for the buyer in a retail chain store. Our overproduction land on a landfill, not to spoil the market price. We carry our water in firefighting tanks, not knowing that the same amount is needed to produce just one single hamburger. And we do it on the same planet where even one sip of water can save not one, but 2 lives. We are listening to people who say we don't need packaging, so let's store it on the spaces dedicated for parking of the employees and wait until it becomes waste, because for us it's not needed. We are working in factories which has walls full with environmental certificates, and behind the walls the same factory creates a landfill. We are wasting products which are not perfect for one because of the QC, but can serve well hundreds and thousands of others. And we listen to the words of World Bank, who says that till 2050 the waste volume will increase in some destinations double, despite the fact that almost everything can be reused, but only 13.5% is being utilized. This is why the waste industry became the 3rd most profitable industry in the world. This is why it looks like it may become the 2nd, just after the war industry. We made one failure. We built our future on the top of a pyramid, of a waste pyramid. But have you ever tried to stay on the top of a pyramid? It's a very unstable place. So even the old Egyptians has not been able to build their future on it, of the pyramid. This is why I spent my time and delivered another groundstone for the future, more stable one. Groundstone on which another stone can be put and still stability will be kept. And how does 6R works? Firstly, you have to recognize that something must not become waste. And trust me, that's not easy task. But the second is much more harder. You have to reconsider what to do with it. But the third point is the reward. You realize it. And you deliver palpable result, which everyone can touch. This is why I spent 8 years to write a waste legal framework, the waste prevention legislation, because nothing that can be used or utilized again must become waste. Everything must be considered as a primary pre-waste existing resource and remain in the system, and the secondary use and utilization is not limited to a primary function of a product or material and can be executed by everyone, respecting the rules and regulations. Collecting, sorting, bulking, and trade, transportation are not considered secondary utilization anymore. And if not utilized on a primary location, it must be offered to others before being wasted. And please, ladies and gentlemen, do understand, there is no waste if we do not waste. And waste is the result of wasting. And what is interesting, not a single legislation in the world defined wasting. So I did it. Wasting is a process in which material of product of any kind, form, and volume become waste. Wasting is a system failure and must be prevented first without any limitation or legal restriction. And please understand, wasting is not a feature of a product or material. but a result of human behavior. And single use is one of the most common things which results in wasting. I have spent 8 years to write this legislation. The Industry 5.0 ambassadors helped me to translate it. And it was officially published on September 1st, 2021. For every nation, every company, every man and woman and child in the world to learn about it, to learn that waste can be prevented. There are 4 waste categories mentioned at the beginning. First one, every one of you understand, this is the physical waste, this is the trash and garbage, which is kept in garbage bins and containers and stored on a landfill. But the second one is a social waste, which are people, so as animals, cut from meaningful life and kept and serving best dead as a food stock. Urban waste are places which are already built but are empty and kept empty despite the fact that some people need the roof above their head. And there are green fields which are built in the same cities where the brownfields are existing, just to make more money to the developer. And there is a process waste which every one of us is facing. Did you know that 50% of shipping containers are running all around the globe empty? What is waste? You have seen that radish can become waste if not suited to the buyer. But what about railway wagons, tracks, cars, which are being shipped empty around the globe, or cars which are being driven just by one passenger, and this is the driver? What about the containers filled with something which will be greatly useful, but according to the law, it becomes waste first? What about people who live in front of gates and sleep on a walking ways in the cities, in front of buildings which are kept empty? What about 150 years of knowledge, which is in this connection of 2 hands? The one hand will be in 1 month 99 years old. The other is 50 years old. But both together build wasteless world and Industry 5.0. Industry 5.0 is the first industrial evolution ever led by man. It is the new mindset of people and businesses from wasteful to wasteless. It delivers results without the need of capital investment, and it's based on the principles of systematic waste prevention. It utilizes the existing on-the-ground mines, and it's based on transparency, profit sharing, and efficiency. And please do understand, Industry 5.0 is not a sales tool or a buzzword, but it's a global new ecosystem. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the times of digitalization of our work. Our children face the digitalization of education, and we all have seen that our leisure time was digitalized a long time ago. So it looks like that the only thing which needs to be digitalized is the human himself. But if we do so, our home will look like this, because data don't need any light. I recognized this decade ago, and I decided to build another world, wasteless world, and my home looks like this. And I will do everything that this home is home for all. This is why on January 1st, 2022, the 17 project started as a global recovery project. And I say that we have 17 months to recover our planet, our economy, our society, our industries, so as our environment. And I hope you will join me. And don't worry, I'm not alone. My name is Mike Rada. I am a human. And with me, there are 91 countries having 91 gates to wasteless world in a person of Industry 5.0 ambassadors. We are covering 85% of global population. And we prepared the recovery since 2013 already. So it's time to utilize it. Dear ladies and gentlemen, it was my keynote speech on August 21st, 2020, which started the age of Industry 5.0 in India. And I would be very happy if you continue to implement the systematic waste prevention on a scale of your country, of all countries, because we have only one home, and it is your decision and your action how it will looks like. Have a nice time, free of waste and wasting in all its forms, and please stay safe.